Hi, Mark. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for asking.
Thank you for joining me. A big fan of Happy Mondays and yourself, so great to get to speak to
Yeah, okay. I'm here, still alive, still
you.
ticking.
Well, we'll go right back to the start, really.
Do we
What
have to?
what was your childhood like, and when did you first take an interest in music?
I was a bit of well, because my dad moved around a lot, it was a case of making new friends. So, and it was through either football or not music, never came into it. I mean, they wouldn't even give me a tambourine in music lesson. That's how bad it was. So I had to. It's only because my mum had this fucking great big grand piano and a two up, two down, and she never played it. Well, she did, but it was always out of tune. She had to get this blind man to come and tune it up, and it was in the way, made the room look small. And she's tinkering away, and she just turned around. She says, "None of you can play an inch. None of you, will." So I thought, right, what to do when they throw the thing down on the floor, right? I'll prove it to you. So I ended up buying a little guitar. I got my first album, wasn't really much into music. And then when I got into it, and I just wanted to learn how to do what they're doing. There was no like following. I mean, in them days, there was all sorts of fashions going around. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you followed punk, you get your head kicked in Swinton. If you followed new romances, you still get your head kicked in Swinton. You know what I mean? I just sort of tried to be neutral, really, and I just surfed a lot. And I just bought some teaching tapes, ended up in the post office, met Derek and Barry, who was Derek was Sean's father, and it went from there, really. So, but my childhood, very low, a bit of a loner, didn't go out much, Um, I don't know. It's just one of those things, isn't it? As you're growing up, you learn, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you mentioned there you met Derek before you met Shaun and Paul.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
what
yeah.
would-
Go on.
what did he say to you then? Did he just say my sons are in a band kind of thing?
I was speaking to Barry at the time. I met this lad who was into Frank Zappa, and I went out in Bolton, and he was in a band, and I was learning to play, and he showed me. I was watching him doing that. I thought, oh, how'd you do that? And I was like, I hanged about with him for a bit, and ended up in Farnworth Post Office, and started getting into music and listening to a lot of other bands. You know what I mean? And then I bought Sounds or something. I was reading in one of the canteen in Farnworth Post Office once, and I was talking to his mate Barry. Now Barry, he plays with Derek, and they do a comedy duo act all around, Bolton and Atherton and all around the northwest. And they used to come back because you start 4:30 in the post office, 5 o'clock, but they used to come back with a load of makeup. They hadn't had time to take the makeup off, you know what I mean? So probably go to bed with it on. And I think, oh, they're a bit weird. Anyway, he was a guitarist. He came talking to me, and I got on with him. He's all right and everything. I said, my mate's sons are looking for a guitarist. So, and from Jack Wilcock teaching tapes, he said, if you want to learn to play guitar, get in a band. So I thought, oh, right, perfect opportunity. And it went from there, really. I went to see Shaun and Paul in his granddad's house in Swinton, and where Derek set it all up, and Derek helped us out. But I was totally opposite to them. They were sort of like getting into the indie sort of, the scene that was going on. And I was, still engrossed in watching Queen, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and from the rock fraternity of music, because that's how you're going to learn your trade, really, by watching what other guys do. So I turned up with a Queen t-shirt on. Bad move. Didn't have any hair because my hair was receding quickly. But I had one key thing, that I had a brand new guitar and a brand new case. I just bought it and I was proud of it. So an Arrow Pro 2, so it was all right. So yeah, I think I got the gig anyway because we did radio live transmission, and I'm thinking it's only two chords, piece of piss this.
Would you say you? I know you all like kind of learned together, didn't you? Like you were still starting out, like you learned in journey. But would you say you were the most like musical out of the lot,
But yeah,
especially at that
I was
time?
the oldest. I've been playing a lot longer, but I was musically, yeah, not on what was going on around me. I was in the vernacular sort of my sort of music, not, it was at a time where the keyboards technology was taking over, and you had a lot of bands using, the new technology only middle class kids could afford. And it was like, so the guitar was up against the keyboard. and it was relevant in them days because you got Joy Division were coming through New Order with all the new technical advancements. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to try and get this guitar up there anymore. So 20-minute solos. No, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It was one of those, and it was like you just had to sit back and watch what was going on, but try and fight against it and come up with something a little bit different. But yeah, I had played a lot longer, so I had a bit more knowledge. But on the other side of it, the sort of music side where the fashion, I was way down there, mate. Yeah.
Well, with Shaun and Paul, obviously, throughout the years and all for the fractious relationship and the fighting and arguing and stuff, it started straight away. Didn't they used to fight in your garden at when you were rehearsing?
Who told you that? What's that? Yeah, well, we used to practice in Arundel Street and in the attic because we had nowhere to go. And I asked my mum and dad once, and they went, "Why don't you practice up in the attic?" Because my dad had just converted it, and I was like dumbfounded. I went, "What the fuck? What you been nice to me for?" So I got, I got everybody. No, it was just me and Sean and Paul because we didn't know Gaz then, and we started practicing up there. And I think we had a drum machine that Derek had lent us, and we started practicing. And then sometimes they just used to have a fight, and I used to go and referee in the Ginnell. So they take all the best clothes off that cost a lot of money and just do it barefisted, like get on with it. And I'm going, what for joined here? You just get on with the music. I've got to get up at 4:30.
You mentioned there Gaz wanted the band at this point in PD. When they came in, did it feel like a proper band then?
It was getting there, yeah. It was all learning. Everybody was learning because we started off with cover versions because that's probably the best way to do it, learn about structure. And once you've got a structure and and another thing playing in time with the beat is another learning curve. So it was all learning. I was learning, they were learning. So we all learned together. So we did a few cover versions, did a Tainted Love, but that was a flat, and guitarists don't like flats. And then we did London Car. Is it? No, what's it called? Anyway, yeah, we did a load of covers.
What were your first gig like then? Can you remember that?
Terrifying. Yeah, it was in the community centre locally where all your mates turned up. So they go disappear, have a few doobies or whatever, and come back and thought, we've practiced this, you know what I mean? And all your mates are stood round the side there. Well, it's one of the only gigs I've felt really nervous about. Like shaking. I was shaking because I thought, you're in front of all your mates and stuff, and they're all just stood, and it was bright, and they're all stood around the outside bricking it. But yeah, it's a learning curve, isn't it? It was all right. And people getting into it. So yeah, we just went from there. Then we do one gig a year. Then it was two gigs a year, and then the gigs kept getting more, and then things started happening. Yeah, just a progression really. So it wasn't an instant thing. It was just learning as we went along.
Like you said there, you were nervous at the first gig. Would you get nervous at the big gigs like Glastonbury and in Rio and stuff like that, or did you not get nervous with them ones?
No, I don't care anymore. There's no point. What's the point? I mean, yeah, there's a bit of excitement, adrenaline, but the nervous thing, no. The only thing I'm nervous about is everything else around me fucking up. That's the only thing I get nervous about. Or me just deciding to go on a trip somewhere and forget what I'm fucking doing. Oh, what song is it again? And the old Alzheimer's kicks in. You think, oh, what am I having for tea tonight?
Does your mind wonder when you're on stage? Have you got to be in the
Oh, yeah, all the time. It's annoying.
What about the fight you had with PD when his keyboard wouldn't start?
There was some mushroom juice floating around, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. Before the gig, and I'd never tried mushroom juice before, so I was go on, I think it was Mother, go on, have a drink of this. So I had a drink of it, and everybody was high as a kite. We still got on stage, and PD was acting a bit weird, and all I had to do, it was the days of MIDI where, all I had to do is press a keyboard and the song starts. So, and he was faffing about, his ding, ding, ding. PD, just press it, I'm ready. So anyway, and then the mushrooms kicked in. And all of a sudden, without me knowing what my body was doing, my fist left my shoulder and smacked him right in the chin. So obviously, and then everything went slow motion. He went backwards like this in slow motion. Whoa, whoa. Kicked the fucking keyboard. Song started, didn't it? Oh, right, brilliant. Got ready to play. Next thing, he recovers, scrambled over and smacks me in the face. The front row, the audience going, "What the fuck are these lot doing?" Anyway, smoke was everywhere. They put the smoke on. It's kicking off. Anyway, and the next day it was all in the papers, in the Daily Star, the Sun, the Mirror, band fighting on stage from Manchester. And I think, yeah, we made it.
Was that happen a lot then, like Carnage like that on stage back then?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was just one of those things where, no, we haven't practiced that. I'm not doing it. So I don't know if they did it on purpose or they just felt they could do it, but I wasn't in. No, no. Try to refrain from that because it's not a good vibe.
You know the publicity though. You mentioned they obviously got publicity from it. Did you ever feel like you had to live up to that like bad boy band image?
No, I didn't. I didn't care. I just wanted to get it done and get home. I wasn't playing again any game whatsoever. There was no game to play. But, I mean, we did go down, and it was like, oh, London, bloody hell, and they were being nice to us and got nice reviews, and we couldn't do anything wrong. The more arrogant and mank the more we became full successful. It was like, brilliant. Well, if these lot love us, we must be doing something right. You know what I mean? Because that's where everything is down in London. With all
Yeah.
the gigs and all the people, A&R and all that. Yeah, so it was a bit of a weird scenario, really, but it was just a long way to go.
I've had Gaz on the podcast and he was saying like his one regret is like how the band are kind of seen as jobs and like the overshadows the music kind of thing. Did you feel that time?
Well, to be honest, everybody thought we were yobs. I did feel like a yob. I never intended to be a yob and got labelled. But what, Scally, yob, whatever. It wasn't. It was a new. It was like a fashion thing, wasn't it? A statement. Everybody's like, gets that title as the Oasis get it. I mean, a lot of bands get it. Well, I didn't. Don't think we weren't yobs. I don't know what a yob is to me. What hooligans? Because we didn't go. Well, I was an hooligan because I went to football matches. Yeah, I used to throw coins at United fans at derbies. I don't have cat class. You know what I mean?
You mentioned the fashion there. A London A&R guy came up, did he, and told you to change your image and stuff.
Yeah, what a wanker. What did he know?
It worked out all right, didn't it?
There were, yeah, I don't know if Gaz told you, but yeah, it was practicing in I managed to get a school rehearsal room across the road, and we were practicing. This A&I guy came up, and windows were smashed by local kids pissing about. It didn't go down well, and he obviously didn't like the music and got a clue. So it was luckily we had the factory, to help us out there because and then we did get signed on to some record labels in London or publishers, whatever, don't matter. Yeah, but no, uh, it's just the way the media portray you. There was sort of a general sort of. I got dragged to Affleck's Palace to see Phil Sack. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was downstairs, wasn't it, in the Arndale Centre? Saw Phil Sack, started wearing flares and stuff. Never thought, fucking hell, is it the '70s again? You know what I mean? And got into that sort of Perry Boy sort of indie fashion that was well, not trying too hard though, you know what I mean? It's not like, well, yeah, it did take over the music. Yeah, going back to the original question. Yeah.
Well, when did the band get that sound then, like that baggy indie sound? How long did that take when you were playing, or did it come naturally?
Just depends on where we got our drugs from. Just by playing a lot. It wasn't planned. That's how we sounded. We just kept practicing. I mean, we practiced and practiced, and we tried to get. And I was trying to be experimental. I think everybody else was just trying to try new things. Not trying to. I used to surf a lot, surfing over every style of music to try and. It wasn't intentional, to be honest. It just happened. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
planned. It just happens. You know what I mean? And to try and change one's style now is I can't do it. That's why I've only been in one band.
That's the thing with the Mondays as well. Like individually, when you come together, it all works. If you took somebody out or brought somebody in, it wouldn't work, would it?
Yes. Tell me about it.
We'll get on to yes, please later soon, but
Oh, no, thanks. You're all right. Done that one.
What about signing to Factory though? You mentioned Factory before.
Yeah, we well, everything seemed to be going swimmingly. We couldn't do nothing wrong. Tony Wilson was a great guy. He loved our music. And he just, we got a chance to sign with a record label, a local record label from Manchester, and it was like, yeah. But the deal was, it was a great deal. The money was all ours. And we just had a cool record label to be on, same as, New Order, which was like, wow, So we went from there really. And then next thing, it was like more gigs, more press, more this, that, and the other. Yeah. And then we got a supporting New Order, and that really opened my eyes. I think this is the big league, this. You got to, and you stood there watching them and you think, wow, really got to improve on what we do.
Like that was your first big gig, really, when it's supporting New Order.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. We did, I don't know, guys will probably remember, my memory's shocking. We did 5, 6 gigs, I think, with them in a massive audience, and that was nerve-wracking because everybody going, who's this lot? It's us Scallies turning up. No, 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 not Scallies. I don't know what to call us.
Uh,
Making noise. Yeah, brilliant. It's education.
when you'd write songs, it'd be together, you jam and then Sean would write lyrics over it, wouldn't he?
No, well, I think what it was, we'd get together and just bash it out. Sean needed time to write his lyrics, so we'd go away and come back with some ideas. Um, but we'd have sort of, I'd get some ideas together. Right, let's do it in a certain key, a key that we've not done before, which was I always tried to do that one. Um, and then coach whatever show, right, A, B. F sharp, whatever, go play them, and then we just keep jamming around for hours, record it, get smashed, come back the next day, listen again, and can't fucking work out what we did.
When did you get the foundations of Squirrel and G-Man then?
It was very hard because sometimes I'd play something and it would get, oh, it sounds like, I used to hate that. It sounds like it wasn't intentional. I'm sorry, but then I'd just jig it a little bit, and then it did sound like so. And everybody else used to do the same. We just once we got a solid drum pattern, it was I came up with stuff and um, ideas. I used to listen to, like I say, a lot of bands, musicians, jazz, funk, the lot. I mean, and I take that style and try and turn it into my style. Not intentionally, I just like doing it. I mean, it's just an accident. It just worked, and with the band, if it wasn't, I couldn't do it on my own. But the band worked because we worked together as a unit, and it was, case of just keep practicing and practicing until something clicks, and then Gaz and Paul would go, "Oh, I like that bit," and I'd go, "What bit? I've just played about 1,000,000 notes." We'd have to get the tape deck out again and go back, rewind, and there's just a tape machine. I've still actually got that original recording. It should be in a museum somewhere. Just wait. Anybody know what tapes are? Cassette. You don't get them in cars anymore. You don't even get a CD player anymore. So this is going just before the war when we had cassettes. I put it in and we'd listen, but the quality was shit, and you turn it up at distort. So um, sometimes I'd do things and I couldn't repeat them because I didn't know how I did it. Now, if we had the technology nowadays, it would be a piece of cake because you could just sample it, loop it, take it out, shred it, wind it, whatever. But in them
Yeah.
days, it's just a case of using your ears.
You kept a lot of stuff from back then, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got everything, me.
Why? What else have you got?
I've even got the I had a look in the loft. That's where everything ends up nowadays. Wait, in the loft. I've got first pressings, white labels that I don't even know what they are. Of everything.
Really?
I'd never listened to them because they're always shit. They're always, "Well, where's the guitar? Why is it not loud enough?" Ah, fuck it. So there's loads. Yeah, I've got a load of recordings, diaries, pictures, the lot. Well, I don't know what to do with it all, so I might just go with the tip tomorrow.
Have you ever thought of writing a book?
I'm dyslexic, mate. I haven't got the patience. I'm 64 now. Well, we'll be this year. I don't know. It's just everybody writes a book, and what's the point? I mean, I'll get around to it one day, I suppose. I've got too much going on.
It would be good to hear your story though, footlight, and then you could include photos of what you've got and stuff. And
Well, you see, photos, there's another thing you see. Nobody took photographs in them days. It was unheard of. It was uncool. Now I wish I had. I
What
used to.
photos have you got then? Did you go around taking photos when you were with them? Like, what photos are?
Oh yeah, I used to take photographs, but not of the band, of buildings,
Oh, really?
skyscrapers and stuff. Things when you're traveling around, you say, "Oh, that's a nice building," because they won't let you. I've got a few of them with the band in it, but not. Um, what's he called? Cummings, Kevin Cummings. I've got a
Yeah.
simple picture of that one on the barge going to, not the barge, whatever it is, going to the Staten Island and back, and we took pictures. It's a famous. I was in. Got one of them, but I've got a few of the crew and buildings and hotel rooms. Not much of the band because when it was like. Plus, the quality of the cameras were crap in them days as well. If it wasn't, and sometimes I never bothered sending them off to Kodak to get processed because I couldn't be asked.
Do you ever read back through the diary?
Yeah, it was a bit like trying to translate it really because I can't read what it says, but there is some funny quotes in that.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
bet
went
that
to
is good.
Paris when we were touring, and it's like, oh, here we go again. Two steps forward, one step back. It was one of those sort of thing, and this happened, and this happened. It's like, oh, therapy, needed therapy. So yeah, it's maybe I should put that in a book.
Yeah, that
Other
would be good.
people
Like,
read it. I don't know.
I definitely read that. Squirrel and G-Man, we were mentioning. What was it like recording that with John Cale?
Uh, well, yeah. Yeah, well, try and be cool. You have to do certain things in life that you don't want to do. And I tried things and I thought, well, I can't work on that shit. John Cale was great. He just came in. He didn't know what it was all about. He was just doing it because it's, factory. Must talk to Tony Wilson, thought up and coming. I can't remember much. Like I say, it's 30, 40 years ago. But yeah, we just did the similar. You go into the studio, do a guide track and then replace it all. I know we spent a lot of time, but on that album it was live. I think everything was like there was no. We had to keep playing and playing. He was insistent on just getting it, right, good take, and then leave it at that. Really. So the styles of recording changed over the years, obviously, but he just let us. He wanted to get that live feel with us, which he did do, I think, on 24 Hour Squirrel G-Man, whatever album it was.
Have you got like it's different sayings for the band members, isn't it? That album title. Did everybody want a different bit? So you
What's
just
the full title? Do you know the full title?
not off the top of my head,
Is
no.
it the Squirrel and G-Man, or is
Yeah,
that the
yeah,
one?
Squirrel and Gman, 24-hour party people.
24-hour
Plastic
party,
face cat
White
smile, white hat.
Power, Squirrel, yeah, something like that. No, we've all got different versions. Can't remember, see, it's 30 years ago. Let me get it right.
He was a bit obsessed with your guitar playing, one of those drunk Cale.
Yeah, he used to come and live with me and look at me and what you doing there? I just says, well, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's like, and he'd look at me inquisitively. Gaz knows the story because I can't really, yeah, I had a chat with him about it. Something about well, I can't remember. But it was you just used to think I was mental, to be honest. This is why don't you do it that way? No, I'm doing it that way.
You know, like every album you worked with a different producer. Did that help the band, or would you have liked to stick with one producer?
No, but I think trying different produce we was always very edgy. We'd never stick to the same style on any, which was probably it finished us. But if we'd have stuck with the same producers, it might have been yes please, not yes please, no thanks. Changing producers, it's a risky thing because and we've had quite a few. Um, but that's the way we were. We like to. I think we were too fast for the fans because we changed our style radically from each album, um, and I don't think they could keep up. It's one of those thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, Monday's fan. Oh, I don't know. Our last album was shit. Well, that goes on anyway. Well, you just have to plow on. We didn't really care what the fans thought. We're just doing what we did, what we liked doing because we didn't know any different.
Yeah, yeah. What is your favourite Mondays album?
I don't know. All of them, to be honest.
What, like different reasons and that?
Yeah, all for different reasons. Probably pills. Um, the last one because that shot us into a bit of stratosphere. We got, a lot out of that. I mean, then you play Wembley Stadium, 2 nights at Wembley Arena, that's how big that was. And it was it was unbelievable. It was like, what the fuck? From going like to a little, community centre to Wembley, it was like a bit daunting. And I think the excess, it just got out of control. People, everything just changes and it's adapting. But cracking as we go along, you know what I mean? Because it's like you spend more time with your band members than you do your girlfriend or wife. So it is difficult, but yeah, producers was a good thing to do, but going back to the last album, maybe wasn't. I don't know.
What was it like recording in LA for Pills and Thrills?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, Capital Records. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we stayed. Oh, yeah. Had a open top Cadillac. Yeah, driving on the wrong side of the road. It was sunny. Loads of weed. Listening to The Doors all the time. Yeah, inspirational. Yeah, it was just. I just got to the point where right, okay, let's do this, and it worked. Yeah, it was a great experience, for everybody. But it was hard. It was hard work. It wasn't easy
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have to come up with something different and spend a lot of hours. And it was a lot of watching what goes on technically as well because it was time of technology. A lot of time on the computers where the computers were ruling, and I was going, I've played my bit. Can I just go now? No, we just got to sample it, loop it, cut it, slice it, put it together. You know, can you play it again? Oh God, I used to hate that. Can we do it again? What's wrong with that one? Oh, fuck's sake.
What then would you play exactly the same as well then?
Yeah, yeah. And it was just, I don't know what you want. What you want? And I used to go, right, do it yourself. I'm off.
What it was like the biggest Monday song probably is Step On. It was down to you that was recorded, wasn't it?
It's not even our song, and we don't even get any royalties for that. That's the ironic thing about
Came from
it.
a cover. It came from another song, did it? Yeah.
It was John Conga.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to step on you. Tony Wilson came to me and gave me a 45 to go home, and I want you to do this as a cover to sort of just to do. So I listened to it and I thought, well, this is a bit odd because there's three guitars in that all doing different things, and there's just one of me. So I kept listening. The more I listened, I just thought, oh, I'll just vamp it on D. Ding, 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 ding. That'll do. I wasn't even asked because it was a cover version, you know what I mean? So I went down and everybody liked it. I thought, right. And so as long as I got all the changes in the chorus and verses, that was all right because it's the same after that. And yeah, we've not received a single penny off that one.
Crazy, isn't it?
He gets all the royalties. His son now, I think.
Really? I bet he gets a decent amount as well off of that, doesn't
Yeah, he does because we play it all the time.
he? The videos, as iconic as the song, did you enjoy doing music videos?
No, hated it.
Did you?
Yeah, sat around. Never was on them anyway, so I couldn't do shit really. I was always like, oh, we got to go and do a video. But it's my day off. You got a day off and you got to do a video. Oh, for God's sake. And then it takes ages, you know what I mean? The film industry, hanging about for ages. So you do more drugs, get twatted, and just mime, just pretend you're doing something. Yeah. No, I didn't like that side of it. I'd just rather get the work done and go home.
You're in the Hallelujah video quite a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
With
the only one.
Brady.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only one. Yeah. No, I can't remember that. It was a lot of feathers, I think. A lot of feathers that went up your nose. Yeah. And I had more hair than normal.
You mentioned drugs. That Bummed album was my favourite album. That was all around like the ecstasy and acid house movement, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to get that sort of vibe in it. Just a constant drone of psychedelic infusion that was, you could, just trip to basically, and we were tripping as well. So yeah, I think we got a bit lazy, but because there was no 20-minute solos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the rope for luck sort of scenario, wasn't it? Where you find a riff and you just keep doing it and come up with all sorts of ideas, and then it's just that hypnotic sort of phase of having ecstasy and the rave culture that came after it. Yeah,
It's my favourite song wrote for Luck. Have you got a favourite you enjoyed playing live or?
I enjoy them all now. I mean, because we've gone through that stage and we've come out the other end and we're still alive and we've still got our faculties together. I do enjoy them. There's no, I once favoritism. I wrote them all, so I wrote all the songs how I wanted them, my
Yeah,
guitar style. So I wouldn't have done it if I didn't enjoy it. If there's some songs that I didn't enjoy doing, because because I enjoy playing and I enjoy doing the songs. So it's um, you'd look at the technicality of it. If it's difficult to play, yeah, and some of them are, but I challenge of that.
what was Martin Hannett like to work with?
Oh, just mental. Um, depending on how he felt, or depending on what he's on, whether he's happy, sad, or just, and it could be any time. Yeah, it was an experience. I thought he's mental. He is mental, but in a funny way. I did like his humor. It was quite dry. And I did buy a guitar off him. Well, the band said suggested buy it off him. He probably nicked it, but I don't know. And I still got it today. I still play with it today, really. So, yeah, it was a good laugh. It was a good laugh. It was all right. Brilliant. Sad way it went. Oh, but
Yeah,
there's no happy moments in my career. It's all a bit sad. It all ends up pear-shaped. But,
there's a lot of ups and downs in the story.
more downs than ups, I should say.
What is that guitar you mentioned there? Is that what you played on the album?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. There's two that, well, probably three that I still use now that I played on the album with.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not telling you which ones. Oh, yeah. No, there's one that I don't take on tour anymore. 'Cause I did Bummed on that, and that's in the front room, my Fender Jaguar. And Johnny Marr's always saying, "Oh, you've still got that Fender Jaguar." And I keep saying, "Keep your mitts off it. You're not having it yet."
Have you got a? Did you like back in the day? Did you have a big collection of guitars, or have you always kept
No, I was
some?
never. No, I didn't. I couldn't be asked for that. I'd rather get one guitar that did the job, which was always a
Yeah.
struggle because like you had to look for a perfect a workhorse, but also so I'd buy classics and they were a bit, temperamental. Well, they could be. I wanted something that stay in tune, so I wouldn't have to mess about with tuning up on stage and all that. Some that Hank Marvin used to go through when his guitars used to go out of tune. So I'd get a workhorse. I've got a workhorse now. It's brilliant. But the ones the Gibson, that's brilliant. Fender Strat, it's a bit cranky because somebody butchered it.
We mentioned at the start you were working at the post office, and then we just touched on Hallelujah then. But after that Top of the Pops performance, you were at work the next day, weren't you? Back at the post office.
Well, I did that for years. We used to dash down to London, go to London, do what you got to do in London, dash back the night. Well, I'd get home, I'd lie in bed for half an hour and go to the post office on my Honda Wet Dream. It's a bike, by the way. I used to call it a wet dream. And then deliver mail, sort the mail, and I used to get pulled up for putting all the wrong mail in the wrong street because all the gyros were in the wrong street because I was off my tits.
How hard is that though? Like being in a band, playing a gig at night, and then doing that the next day.
I don't know. I wasn't really. I just did it because once you join the band, it's like you're in some sort of cult and you don't want to let everybody down. I just did my job. I used to get home about dinner time, put all my second class in the bin, burn it or whatever, and go to bed.
What? When did you stop working there? Was it when Pills and Thrills came out?
I think it was at a stage, yeah, when the manager Nathan McGough offered me the same amount of wage as the post office because I wasn't just. It was my mum, really. My mum said, "Oh, you get a good pension out and that and all of that," and I'm thinking, you know what? So I left the post office. Then my mum threw me out of my house. I had to live in Droylsden. My girlfriends.
Is that why she kicked you out? 'Cause you stopped work, yeah. And you stopped working.
Yeah, yeah, got written out of the will and all sorts because I left the post office. So you get a good pension in that. But so a bit of rebellion going on there. But best thing I ever did.
What did they think of the band and you being in a band?
Didn't understand.
Really?
Didn't understand. They only even when they came to watch us at G-Mix, mum took her slippers and they stood it right at the back there. Couldn't see us anyway because little stage. Didn't really understand what was going on. I think it dropped a little bit, but Mum was one of those. She'd read the press, find out, oh, Mark, you're not taking heroin, are you? No, Mum, it's the press. She didn't get all that. You know what I mean? She used to believe what she read. Yeah. And then
Well,
God,
like you mentioned at the start, it's her fault. You're in a band, really, isn't
exactly. Yeah.
it? What was it like playing like the G-Mex and like a big old town show twice?
Oh, daunting, daunting. Bit weird, bit nervous, very nervous. Just didn't really know what was going on.
Really? What about the Wembley arena shows? Were they good?
Can't, do you know what? I can't remember because when I've been doing it for 40 years now. It just blends into one. There's nothing that stands out because can't remember. Just twatted when I get on stage and twatted when I get off stage.
Well, we said about Yes Please. That was a bad time with the band, wasn't it? For you
Yeah.
personally as well.
Well, it was because I got kicked out of the band 24 hours before we went. And then I got a phone call. Moose, you're out of the band, getting Johnny Marr in. Okay.
Did you? Yeah, did they let you know they were getting Johnny Marr? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't help your self-confidence and your drive and whatever. So, and then I was reinstated. I think it was Gaz or I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was Gaz that got me back in the band. But everybody was. It come to a point where we knew it was the end anyway. It was all
Yeah.
frazzled. I mean, we've been together since 85, no, was it 83, 85? So it was a long process from there to get there. But when you get there, it's not what you expect it to be like. And we were just burnt out and sick of each other. And people, just everybody had their own little demons to deal with.
The thing, you're a brilliant guitarist, and so is Johnny Marr. But like we were saying before, if Johnny Marr came in, it's not the same, is it? Like he's good at what he does, and you're good at what you do.
Well, that's it. We've all got our different styles. I mean, and you create your own style by just being yourself. It's your own stamp, your own personality. Because I like to look at things and do it differently. I don't just look at a card and think, oh, that's boring. I try and do something with it and add things and take away. And I used to have a card book, had like 100,000 cards in it. I used to open it up and just point, I'll have that one. Oh, that's a bit jazzy. Oh, I'll have that one. So I didn't use many jazz cards in the Mondays, but I tried.
Is that what you do then? Have a book and just pick random ones out?
Yeah,
Worked, didn't
I think so.
it? Speaking of Yes Please, you did that to kind of save Factory, didn't you? Do you wish you'd, obviously looking back, you'd have took a break at that point as a band?
Well, we could have done really, but there was no time to do it because Factory were going under.
Yeah.
Everything was, and it was down to us. But the thing was, I wanted to do it in Manchester, and everybody was, oh, let's go to Barbados, crack capital of the Caribbean. That sounds great. Yeah,
How come you wanted to do it in Manchester?
because it was cheaper. I was nearer home, which what I wanted. Because when you're doing a new album, I know they always say isolation and you get your head down and do it, but I just wanted to. I got a bit fed up with everybody. No one was communicating, so it wasn't like we're all mates or anything anymore. We're all on our different trips. I wasn't. There was no such thing as mental health in them days. So I just needed just to see my girlfriend and just escape. But when you're in on an island with all the band and the crashing cars and producer goes on strike and hospital bills are going up and it's fucking mayhem anywhere. You just want to go home, don't you? Because career's finished.
You mentioned there, like once you get to that point of it being big, it's kind of not how you expect. So you've got like the journey up to Pills and Thrills, then it all implodes the next album. Is the journey better up? Did you prefer being this like small indie band to then the
Oh
big
yeah, yeah.
Pills and Thrills?
I didn't realize Pills and Fills. I mean, I was on the train coming back after listening to the tapes, and I thought, oh, it's when I proposed to my wife, my now wife, because I thought, well, we're going somewhere with this. I can, get a mortgage and get kids and do all that. So that was a pinnacle. I thought, well, oh, this is it. But we just weren't tough enough to keep going. So that was plinth of it, and after that, it was just downhill because rehearsals were difficult. Everybody was, on their own little. We still didn't have any money. I mean, when we split up, I had about 1,500 quid in my bank account.
People
exactly.
think you like millionaires, don't they, when you're out top of the
Oh, it just my fucking head in. Oh, so
pops?
I'm top of the pops. You must be a millionaire. Fuck off. Ended up going to the dole office with Gaz, and they won't even give us any money because, oh, you've been on telly, haven't you? It's got nothing to do with that.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, no. I had no money when we split up, so I had to get a job, didn't I?
Was that well before you split up? You had a meeting at EMI, didn't you? Was that like the final nail in the coffin? That one? Or did it go?
EMI. No, that
Was it
was,
EMI?
yeah, EMI wanted to, yeah, well, they came up to Ancoats, Mr. Black. I can't remember his first name. Just Sean wasn't playing ball. I don't know if it was because he was trying to be a wheeler dealer, but he just disappeared. Conversations went down because he wasn't singing to our music. We played the music, but without the vocals. And he turned up, got to Kentucky, and that was it. And we didn't get the deal. Obviously, we're trying to get away from Factory because we knew they were going down, and it was a case of right, grab your gear before it gets sold for heroin. Yeah.
Really?
Uh,
With pills and thrills, where you're getting like money is coming in a bit, but like you are all a unit, weren't you? And you're all getting the same amount. But then when songwriting royalties come in and there's arguments, then it the over money. Does that feel like the beginning of the end? Then
yeah. I mean, the band was all equal, which was fine. But, some individuals wanted more. And money always destroys bands, to be honest.
yeah, yeah,
And the amount of working, probably even more work. But money's evil. It just, especially when you've got creativity on the edge and you're trying to be creative and it just something nags at the back of your mind. But, one of those things of modern day society, innit?
yeah, yeah. Well, you mentioned you proposed to your girlfriend, now wife, after pills and thrills because you thought like
Yeah, well, I
it
was
was
going
all going,
somewhere. Yeah.
it was all going good. But when you're in the band, is there any point where you do think it's going to implode, or what were you thinking at that point?
Hmm. Um, Communication. What did I think? Well, I wanted to get out for a bit. I needed a break. I just didn't get a break, and I think that's my mental health was going really. And there's no such thing in them days because they didn't have. It wasn't even on the Richter scale. Dyslexic. That's not even on the Richter scale, which I am. I didn't even get noticed for that. So you can start going bald. You can start using that as like an institutional sort of fashion thing. You know what I mean? But no, I don't know. What's the question?
Oh no, like did you expect it to implode like through the?
Oh, it could have gone any time. Could have gone
Yeah,
any
yeah,
time. I mean, there was fist fights, there was arguments. It always is with music. There's times when, me and Sean nearly came to blows over nothing. And it just, I'm not going into detail because like no point really. It's been and gone. What's the past, and it doesn't help. And when you fear for things, you fear a lot of things. You just have to, get out and get your sanity back and get back to normal. And I did really worry about my safety a lot of the time after the band as well, because we had a lot of criminals knocking around as well.
really.
Oh yeah. We had Cheetah Mill mob, there was all sorts. Not know the hacienda story of the guns and the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it gets you fear for your life. You just don't want to stop going there because of that shit. Fucking hell. So yeah, it was a bit like, and got married, got kids on the way. Just didn't want that to get in the way. So I thought, so you knew it was going to go. You had that feeling.
What was that like then? Like, obviously, you're in a big band, you're well known around Manchester, and then obviously there's these gangs, and like you say, going off. What is that like?
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Want any of that. I just wanted to do the music. I don't care about the drug pushers, the bloody, who owns what, who's on the door, which, company's doing what, the hacienda anymore. Um, with success, it always brings, trouble.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was glad to get out for my sanity, to be honest.
What was it? Yeah, so you left the band after that meeting. What was that like then? Did you feel a relief then?
I think the meeting you're referring to is when we was in the Lassa Garrel or across the road from, I think that's what it's called, can't remember, with Tony Wilson and was it Rob Gretton? Oh, we just sat there, and I was embarrassed. I couldn't say. I didn't know what to say because it felt like it was our fault. It wasn't our fault. It was just bad management, by factory itself by investing in some things they shouldn't have done. Because you always put money away for a rainy day. It was a bit of a. It's the last time I saw him, really. Just sad. Um, but yeah, somber. Not much said. Um, Everybody knew that it was over, and it was like factory was going on. The band split up. What can you say? How positive do you want it to be?
No, no. There's the thing of like you say, like, but then you got out of the situation, kind of. You lived a more normal life after that, didn't you? But it must be hard leaving the band that you've been in for however many years as well.
I wasn't in the band. I don't know. It wasn't that long, really. 85, 83 till 93. Is that
Still
nearly
quite a
10
while,
years?
10 years or so.
Yeah, felt, yeah. But then I had nothing to do with the music industry for 17 years.
Yeah,
So
you
I,
just put your guitars
yeah,
away.
yeah, stopped playing. Yeah, so fuck it. Don't want to go through that again because it's harder to start again. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have joined another band, but you know what? I want to see my kids grow up. Simple as that, really.
So, what was life like for you those 17 years up to the reunion?
In the abyss, hard because I didn't want to go down that route of bankruptcy, lose mortgage and all that shit. So I just kept working, just got a normal job, became an independent Del boy.
Did you work at a school as well, teaching music at one
Well,
point?
that got me back playing again because I just went for an audition at I applied for this job because things weren't looking good in my previous one. I was self-employed in that. I had my own business and stuff, but things were going people weren't buying shit now like they used to do. And I got this audition at Music and Performing Arts Service MAPAS in Salford, and I'd not played in 17 years, and I play in front of three sort of classically trained musicians a song of my choice. So I had to start practicing the song. Everything had changed since playing 17 years ago because now they had something called music by numbers, which is tabs. And I learned how to play Blackbird by the Beatles. And because I was so, enthusiastic and didn't care about, I think they didn't actually, I got turned down by the application because, but when somebody said, oh, he's out of the Mondays, him. Oh, well, I got him. So they got me back and did it. And I got the job and I had to start learning how to play guitar again while I was teaching, believe it or not. And I learned how to read notations, crotchets and quavers in the primaries. And I did secondary schools and I did that for 15 years. So that got me back into playing. And then that's when I got the call. The Mondays are reforming the originals. Good job, because if I hadn't been practicing music at schools, I don't think I'd be able to do it. But the only other issue was I hadn't played songs in 17 years. I couldn't remember a single thing. So I had to start listening and trying to dig at what I was playing originally. Which, funny enough, somewhere in the back of your subconscious, it's still there. And it was still there. And it took me a while, but everything I play is what I actually played originally 40 years ago.
Would you say you're a better player now then?
Oh, yeah.
After all that, like
I
teaching?
understand. I understand it now. I didn't. I just bumble. I have no time to understand the theory.
Didn't your daughter have a bit of a part in the reunion?
Yeah, she was at uni and she was back at Christmas, and the only time I wasn't get pissed at Christmas was on a certain day when my son wanted to go and see this band in Falmouth, and no, my daughter was working at the Marriott, and she rang me while I was going down in Falmouth. I was a designated driver, and the only day I didn't drink, which was probably, and I had, my wife and some friends, and we went to see this band. She rang me up and says, "Oh, I've got Shaun Ryder on the phone." I went, "You what?" And I spoke to him in 17 years, and he said, "They're thinking about getting the original band back together again." I went, "You what?" She says, "Can I give you my number?" I said, "You what?" So I said, go on. Well, it's up to you, Jazz. I'm not bothered. It's just so I didn't really give a shit, really. I wasn't really asked, so I'll let her decide. So next,
Really?
got a phone call, and I was skint at the time. I had no money. I was struggling with teaching. Wasn't I didn't have many hours. I only had 10 hours a week, and I wasn't paying great. But. So and then he started talking. I thought, oh, I could do with an holiday. Yeah, let's do it.
Who rang you then? Was it Shaun?
No, it was oh, what's it called? One of the managers that Warren he was called. He was an ex-footballer. Obviously he had Stacey Solomon on the books and all that. So he was like, he rang me up and gave me all the. It was very nice. He worded it perfectly. I was still a bit skeptical.
Mm.
Then you start seeing the money turn up. And think, right, let's do it. You twist them because like pay me debts off. Taxman's after me and all that shit. Oh, brilliant. So
Did-
yeah. So if it wasn't for him, I don't think. But he didn't last long.
really? Did you
Well, they
not
never
see?
do with us, do they? I'm
did,
not saying we're awkward, but
did you not see any of the members then in that 17 year?
nope,
What was
nope.
it like meeting them again? All of them?
Well, we did have the meeting. It was a bit surreal because we'd all aged and everybody's been nice to each other. And I
Really?
thought, everybody's off the drugs. That's nice. Maybe there's a chance we could do something. Because Sean had an addiction and you know about that, and he looked clean. Paul was the same, he looked clean. So yeah, PD was all right, I think.
Who would you say you like closest with in the band back then?
Well, Gaz, I'm close with Gaz.
Yeah,
PD's, I don't see him much now because he's moved away, but he talk to him now and again. He's fine. Yeah. What's close? I mean, in the early days, it was me and Paul. I was close with them too.
yeah,
Paul, God bless him. Yeah, but
yeah. I was sad. That was a shock to read that a few years ago.
yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, yeah. To when you're trying to resuscitate him on the floor and he'd already been dead hours, it's not nice. Yeah, but trying to be positive. It's YouTube. Come on.
But yeah, I saw the band a couple of years ago at Bingley Festival, and it sounded good. Is that another one that rolls into like one?
Yeah. What do you mean it sounded good? I need to analyze this now. Good is not good enough.
Yeah, it was a good performance, but like when a member, like you say, when a member goes, you're not sure how it's going to be, are you? When you
Oh, I
see,
see what you mean. I didn't realize. Yeah. No, we're a strong unit now. We've got a new bass player in Mikey. I'll never replace Paul, obviously, but yeah, we've got it together now, and it's just the songs weren't difficult to play, to be honest, because the structures sort of quite easy. It's not really, you just I'm doing all the sort of bits I do, and everybody else does their bits, but got it down to a fine little art now. I'm just bought a new effects pedal, which I'm excited about, so I'm pissing about on that this week. Uh,
really.
yeah, yeah.
You,
Well, the one was like 15 years old, and it was getting a bit cranky, like you do.
Glastonbury's just been. You played there in 1990, obviously. That was like the Carnage on it. What was that day like?
Carnage.
Just crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, just muddy as well. Yeah. Should have seen the bus when it was finished.
Did it smash into a tree or something?
Well, I'm upstairs and that. I don't know what the busman was doing, but he reversed into the sign saying Glastonbury and smashed the back window. So I looked and I thought, here we go again.
Gee.
Everybody's off the tits and he's fucking driving in the side. And then, yeah, and then what's that for? Oh, printing tickets. You what? Oh, just, and then there was like, everybody's giving tickets out. Fences got broke. Just mental. The only
They,
time
ca-
I've played there, to be honest.
they called it off the year after.
Yeah, they had to, yeah. Sort the security out because half of Manchester turned up without a ticket.
Gee. You know, like when you had a big entourage everywhere, you went people from Manchester and that. Did you like that, or were you like, who are these people sometimes?
Yeah, I did because like, oh, we brought home with us, you know what I mean? So you can
Oh,
have a good
yeah.
chat about shit, football, whatever's going on, fashion, whatever. Yeah, it was good sometimes, yeah. Because like, just that's what happens. People follow you around and never laugh, yeah. And sometimes they'd have some a bit of hashish with them, you never know.
What's it been like being in a band with Man United fans, though?
Well, it used to be I never used to talk football. No, they don't talk football. I talk football.
He's turned
So we
on it.
don't talk at all. Nobody goes out with me. Nobody talks about football to me anymore because it's all done now. You can't tease us.
So it's been since 2012. Obviously, you've been with the band and stuff. Have you ever been close to an album or anything in that time?
No, no. It's to be honest, it's times have changed. It's I don't know. We would do one, but it's really Sean's shout. You know what I mean? And there's no money in it now, is there? Let's face it. And I'm not doing it for the money. We just do it for because we can. But
You need to make a living, though, don't you? Really?
well, I'm not asked about that anymore. It's fucking what's the point? You know, it's you're not going to make a living out of getting an album out. Let's put it that
Oh
way.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh, you got to do it on YouTube. You got to have 30,000 clicks before you get noticed by anybody. No. So there's nobody goes out. It's rather going back a cup of coffee rather than an album. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
There's a resurgence of albums. It's not the same. It's not the same. So I don't know. And we're in our 60s. Who buys albums? When was the last time you bought an album?
And I'm guilty of listening on Spotify and stuff.
Exactly. There you go. You see. So you're not helping us, are you?
Do you hate that then, Spotify and stuff like that? I'm guessing.
I used to hate Napster, used to hate everything because it was file share, and I thought, but it's fucking ruined. You know what I mean? You're going to see over the years royalties go down, so there's no incentive. I can't afford to play an instrument anymore. So the only way you make music money nowadays is just gigging live.
Yeah,
You know, and I feel sorry for the young kids today. I don't know, just do it for a laugh. I always advise young kids just go out and enjoy yourself. If
yeah,
if
yeah,
if you do get, recognized or you do get, that's a bonus. But that's with my mentality with the Mondays at the time. Just do it for a bit of a hobby, something to do.
Mm. Another great thing with the Mondays as well, though, with albums is the covers as well. And obviously, you don't get. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that anymore, really, do you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Matt and Pat were Central Station design. They did all that. They were brilliant. And but like you say, you don't get any of that because you get a physical copy and it has lyrics and it has pictures. Nowadays, it's just on your computer. It's a file that gives you nothing. It's soulless. It's pointless. Anyway, don't get me ranting. I don't want to be ranting and preaching. I'm not the BBC.
Speaking of an album, though, would it be the same without Paul?
What, a new album?
Yeah, like would it feel not right doing it, but would you want to do it without him?
No, not real. No, you see, yeah, he was sort of the driving force in that sort of, he would say, "Oh, that's good," and he knew he knew his music and that. But I don't know, couldn't tell you. Maybe, maybe not. It's just you can't tell. I'm not got a golden ball to see into the future. Be nice to
Yeah.
do something, but we did something ages ago and nothing came of it. So it's, you know, down to, logistics. You only do an album if you want to carry on touring like the Rolling Stones.
They've got another album coming out, aren't they, at some point?
Yeah, well, you can just regurge stuff, change it. Don't know. Well, obviously they've got worldwide marketing and all that, but I don't know. It'd be nice, something to do. We could try something. You never know. Watch this space.
Yeah, yeah. Phil Sachs called you the next Rolling Stones, didn't he, at one point?
Did it? Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Still playing live now.
Oh, I love it. It's brilliant. Yeah, enjoy it. It's just like piss up with the lads, and nobody's got any, hangovers from arguing about money, drugs, and et cetera, et cetera. You know, yeah, I really enjoy it now because been doing it. I've been doing it for like 15 years since we rejoined. Really, just getting back into the swing of things. So yeah, it's just and it's not like it's every day. I mean, you get to meet interesting people and have a good chat and have a good laugh, really. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun. Yeah, yeah. I'm happy with everything. So, as long as I can keep fit and healthy, which is not looking good, because time is not on my side. Mm.
You're
Mm.
second oldest in the band, aren't you? After Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, about 6 months, I think, something like that. It's not much, but yeah, not that it matters. Not that it matters. But yeah, look after myself. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy playing. I enjoy it now more than ever, to be honest.
yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Well, it's great to hear that you're still enjoying it.
Yeah,
And
the crowd's great. We're getting a different crowd. I see youngsters coming now, because I do look out and I do take notice, and there's a different generation of kids that will come to watch us. Maybe it's granddad's dad's kids, don't know, oh, listen to these. Oh, they're on it. So, and they come and it's nice to see different faces, younger faces. But it's a bit weird when you go to a festival and Alan McGee goes to, wait, Mark, I can't do a Scottish accent, but he says, "You're the oldest here." And I'm going, I looked around and thought, oh, God, you're right. That doesn't help.
Was it at Rio when the fans were walking off when he came on stage and then they all came back?
Well, yeah, it was pissing down, wasn't it? It was like, I thought I was going to die, get electrocuted, because electrics are not very good down there, are they? In sparks. What the fuck? It's raining, got piss wet through. And because we carried on playing, they all came back. And it was like, wow, Rock in Rio, 100,000 people, and we're still at it. We've done that a few times, to be honest. Yeah. Apart from China, where they didn't come back, they just fucked off.
Why happened there? They just walked out. Walked out.
Yeah, well, we were the last one on, and there was like everything didn't work. It was all broke. 7 amps and none of them worked, and massive crowd. It was the end of the night, to be honest. But we went on. I don't know why we did that gig, to be honest. A bit of China. Why go with China? Ugh. We went there, and it was like, well, let's do the gig, and then I started walking away. I kept saying, "Why is everybody leaving?" It's China. It's China. They don't know us. It's like, what's Western music. And then we said, do you want some food? Because we're not eating, you don't know what to eat over there. Said, yeah, I'll have some food, yeah. So we said, got some burgers. All right, I'll have a burger. Did find out next day it was horse meat.
Jesus Christ. What is the best place you've been where the monies have been really appreciated, like outside of England? What
Never
was
been
America
outside of
like?
England. Oh, eh?
What did you say? Nowhere outside of England.
I've never been outside of England. There's only odd occasions. Australia, yeah, they're good. Of them. We're about to actually do a European tour. Plug, plug. A few gigs around Europe, which would be nice. Which we've not done before. So we're getting out of the country. Yeah.
You're not playing here then?
Hey,
You're not doing a tour here as well then? Just a Europe one?
well, watch this space. It may happen, it may not. I know nothing. I'll just give you a plug for the dates if anybody's interested. Probably not.
No, let us know. I'll leave a link in the description as well.
Where are we? Oh yeah, we're going to Belgium, France, Spain, Lisbon. Just get out. Switzerland, nice little get out of the country clause. Let's see if that happens.
You know what dates they are, or you don't like to say the dates yet?
Oh yeah, it's confirmed. Proper confirmed. Yeah. The dates are 21st to the 9th, Belgium, 22nd, France, 24th, Spain, Madrid, then Barcelona, the 25th, then Valencia, 26th, then Portugal, the 28th, Switzerland, the 30th of the 8th. Sorry, I've not got my glasses. This is this year.
Yeah, it's busy. What's it like? Do you enjoy the travelling side of it, or?
Well, we've not done much, but yeah, we went to Amsterdam. That was all right, but it wasn't far, but it's nice. Yeah. No, it can get a bit of pain in the ass, traveling, but it's part and parcel of the job, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
Done a lot of traveling, and that was another thing when you're in a band, traveling. Hate that. It just, and then it's always, it's not glamorous at all, mate. You don't
Isn't
see,
it?
no, you don't see much. Hotel, bar, gig.
It's no wonder bands burn out, is it? With that, like every day, and then
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'd make a
But,
habit of just going for a walk somewhere and getting out of the way.
but yeah, I'll leave a link to the dates and stuff. But thank you for joining me, Mark. It's been brilliant to speak to you.
Oh well, nice one, Ethan. Yeah, you too. You take care, live long and prosper. Like the only things. Look after yourself. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Nice one, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
See you. Bye, bye.
Get me dinner now.